Good morning, and welcome to our September Sound Summit, where we're focusing on fall festivities. We've got a great group of partners here today that are going to share some amazing outdoor adventures as we head into the fall in the Pacific Northwest. As a reminder, you can either follow along on the screen or you can download the navigation page and click along as the presenters are presenting their information. As we focus on themes, I just want to remind you that you may not see some of the folks that you're used to seeing at our update today. But we've made sure to include them on the second page of our navigation sheet. So their websites and their social media outlets are listed so that you can get the absolute most up-to-date information. As we did last month, we're going to be collecting questions throughout the broadcast, and we will bring presenters back up at the end to answer those questions. Within 48 hours, we will go ahead and post both the questions and the answers to the site. So make sure to check back on the site within the next couple days. All right, I think that handles all our administrative tasks. I'd like to welcome Colonel Duncan up for opening remarks.
Thanks, Robin. Good morning, Joint Base Lewis-McChord. Happy to be with you again virtually. And as I've said a couple times before, I know Robin and the rest of us are looking forward to having you back in person eventually at one of these. We'll continue to stream them virtually live for those that want to stay at home, but we do look forward to, once it gets a little bit safer, welcoming you back into one of the locations at Nelson Rec or McChord Club. I got a few things I want to talk to you about this morning real quick. Four kind of categories: schools, on-base activities, community things, and then digital things. So let me walk through what I mean by those real quick. Schools and CDCs. As you all know, a lot of your kids started school, a lot of them today actually, yesterday and today. So I know we're working through a lot of those MS Teams and virtual platforms, and we're doing the same thing in the child development centers, the school age centers, where we're supporting your students. And our folks are there to continue to help them try to get logged on, try to kind of work through those pieces as they work with their schools for their actual education platforms. So we look forward to continuing to support you through that process. Let us know of any lessons learned as you work through that. I know a lot of those school districts are really working hard on that right now, and Clover Park School District is a superb partner on base. They're supporting us with additional capacity on base for internet connectivity and those kinds of things, as well as, of course, laptops for your kids. On base activities. As you all know, we opened up Jensen Gym a week and a half ago for families from 9 to 16:30, 9 to 4:30 in the afternoon. It's working well. Reservation system, just call in. We're working on an online reservation system now as well, and we look forward to opening up additional gyms. We know that this base is a vibrant and diverse base because of our service members, our families, our retirees, our veterans. We look forward to opening up we've opened up just about everything on base. We've got a few small niches that we still need to open up, and we look forward to opening those up and welcoming back all of our integral partners on base to continue this base thriving and diverse and amazing as it is. So more to follow on the rest of those openings as those come in the next couple weeks. Community, a couple things around base that we're continuing to work on your behalf. The high-speed rail, you've probably seen this in the news recently. You know about the high-speed rail, and it comes right by two of our gates right here on Lewis Main, Lewis North, one over on McChord Field inside Lakewood. There is no exact set date for when the high-speed rail will resume, but they are in talks to resume that high-speed rail eventually. Rest assured, we are talking directly with the owners, the operators of those trains, and we'll make sure that it is a safe reopening when it comes time to reopen that. And we will, of course, let you know when they do set an opening date after they work through the final inspections and all that. We're going to do on-the-ground walkthroughs with them. AFES is continuing to build out their exchange here on Lewis Main. I know you've seen the openings. The opening seems like they're opening something new just about every week. They'll continue to open up a lot of the food court, a lot of the food vendors, and all of those things in the coming months as well. And then right next to them on Lewis Main is the Texas Roadhouse. That'll open up the end of September. Probably September 30th is their target date right now to open that up. Lastly, on the digital front, I have two things I'd ask you to do. One, download Digital Garrison. You're seeing the link come up right now, so if you just search on the App Store or the Google Play, and you'll find just Digital Garrison. That simple. Download it. You'll sign in, and you'll say you're a resident of JBLM. That is going to be the one-stop shop for MWR activities, commissary, AFES helped us build this, so definitely AFES is on there. And then all things kind of JBLM. It's going to be the one app where you can get all of that information together. They are constantly making revisions to this thing. It just opened 2 weeks ago on the street. Download that, become part of the process, help us use that. It is absolutely going to be the one-stop shop. It really already is moving that way very quickly. Within probably a month or 2 months, it's going to be the one place where you get all the information. Digital Garrison, download that. And then I'd ask you to continue to use the ICE system, the Interactive Customer Evaluation System. We're putting up QR codes, little square codes that you scan with your phone at all the customer-facing centers, so it'll take you right to where you can make a positive, neutral, negative comment, whatever improvements you'd like to see, or a kudos to the team member that you're working with there. Please continue to use that system. We give feedback. Our feedback rate is about 95%, where we try to get back. We don't try. We do get back with people if they request a feedback. So please continue to use that system. We look forward to continuing to serve you here at JBLM. Thanks, Robin. That's all I have.
Yes, sir. General Smith?
Thanks, Robin. And good morning, JBLM. On behalf of Lieutenant General George, thanks for tuning in now. And as this gets recorded, those who tune in later to watch the great topics here. So this is a very exciting theme we have today planned for JBLM and the community. And I can't believe we're talking about fall festivities already. So thanks to everybody here, all the experts that we have here. They're going to talk to all of us today about the great opportunities we have by living in the Pacific Northwest, and it is absolutely in line with Lieutenant General George and the culture here of healthy living, healthy activities, and great things to do with our families and our soldiers, and the opportunities that present themselves here in this great place, part of the country. And for all of our presenters here today, you might think, well, you've been here a while doing this. But every week we go talk to about 200 or 300 new soldiers and family members that are showing up here at JBLM. So the things you have to educate us on, we're eager to hear it and excited that you're here to do that for us. So we have great experts here. We look forward to hearing from them, and I will definitely be taking notes as we go along here to make sure I get to the right trails and support the scouts and everything else. So thanks a lot. Thanks, Robin, for setting this up, and thank you to our presenters here and the experts that we have in the room for helping us out. So appreciate it. Look forward to the dialogue and the conversation. Thanks.
Thanks, sir. All right. So heard loud and clear that folks were interested in some traditional fall activities, and so we worked hard to find a resource to help you navigate pumpkin patches and corn mazes and all those fun things that we like to do in the fall here in the Pacific Northwest. So you can navigate to this site by clicking on the hyperlink at the soundbite. And then once you get here, you can scroll down and you can pick a region or a city, and you can see lots of great activities listed, and there's some key information like opening hours and cost and the websites and the phone numbers. So I urge you to check that out, to really get out and find those fun fall activities that you're used to participating in. But as always, call ahead to just make sure that if there's any new and interesting COVID restrictions, you want to make sure you know about those before you head out. All right, so at this point, I will be followed by B.O.S.S.
Hello, everybody. I am Specialist Harper with the B.O.S.S team. Pretty much last month, a small recap, we went and we took people to Coal Creek, which is a hiking trip. That was pretty fun. We saw a beautiful waterfall, and then we took, brought everybody back. Going into next month, we paired up with Texas Roadhouse. And from the 1st to the 8th, we have a virtual line dancing competition, which you'll get the chance to be able to win a dinner for two. It's steak, I think, but I like steak, I'm sorry. And then September 8th, as well as from the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th, we have the study board group. So just in case you have any service members who need help studying for the board or just need that experience to gain confidence in themselves, they can come onto the B.O.S.S office and get that help that they need. From September 10th, 17th, 19th, and the 24th, we have the thrift store, so please, if you want to get those volunteer hours for the MLVSM. If you don't know what the MLVSM is, it's the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. You can come out, help us with that, and then get your hours. Who doesn't want community service hours? Those are great. September 12th, we have our big trip to Leavenworth. Everything And Leavenworth is a kind of more of a tourist themed place. It is a Bavarian town, so it's German and Bavarian themed. You can go there. We're going to take people out there. You're going to get to experience and go on a tour out there and most likely go on a hiking trip because it is very beautiful out there. We want to let you guys experience something outside of, your normal barracks area. September 14th, 21st, and 28th, so pretty much every Monday we're going to start our open mic night. So if you do have any talent or that doesn't even have to just be singing, dancing, anything of that sort, artwork, you can come and, show your face on your screen. We're gonna obviously do it virtually until everything does clear up and become safe. And then September 18th through the 20th, we're going to Pacific Beach, and we're gonna be camping out there for about 2 days. That is the Naval MWR area, so we're gonna let you get to enjoy that. We're gonna go on a few hiking trips, we're gonna eat some good, camping food, s'mores. Everyone loves s'mores. I love s'mores. You love s'mores. It is what it is. S'mores are just amazing. And then September 10th and the 24th, we are doing Adopt a Road. We have adopted a road, and we have been cleaning it up, make sure it looks pretty. Come out. Like I said, come get your volunteer hours, help people out, help yourself out, help your community out. And yeah, that's all for this month. Thank you so much. Coming up next, we have the Washington State Parks.
Hi, I'm Meryl Lassen. I'm with Washington State Parks and Recreation Commission, and we love s'mores too. Wanted to thank JBLM for having us here today. If you've been in Washington for a couple of years, you know that the weather can be delightful in September and October. In Eastern Washington, it cools down, but big blue skies. In Western Washington, everybody thinks of Western Washington and rain, but actually we get a great fall with sunny, crisp days. If you're new in town, welcome. If you're coming from the East Coast, you'll find that the fall colors rival some of the East Coast foliage, and you'll feel right at home here in Washington, and particularly in Washington State Parks, which is what I'm here to talk about today. So a couple of fall highlights. Mount Spokane State Park outside Spokane is one of the best kept secrets for viewing golden larches. And if you are new in town or you don't know what a golden larch is, Google or hashtag golden larches and you will want to go check them out almost immediately. They start in late September. Mount Pilchuck State Park is off the Mountain Loop Highway northeast of Seattle. And it's a steep, scrambly granite hike to a peak that has a historic fire lookout on top. It's very popular and the autumn foliage is stunning. Other great parks in different regions, and I've got my cheat sheet here, include Larrabee State Park, which is near Bellingham. There are moderate to easy hikes, and also the adjacent Chuckanut Drive, which is famed for its foliage. It's a great scenic drive for families and couples and solo folks as well. Battleground Lake State Park is near Vancouver, and Lake Easton State Park is near Ellensburg. All of them have family swimming, paddling, and bicycling. And Field Spring State Park in southeastern Washington has spectacular views of the Blue Mountains with moderate hikes. And local state parks, since I know many of you are living at or near JBLM, Tolmie State Park and Miller-Sylvania State Park, which is just south of JBLM, and Dash Point and Saltwater, which are just north of JBLM. So you can find these and more at our website, which is up on the screen right now under Find a Park. And I think we're showing you Mount Spokane State Park right now. Please explore to your heart's content and find the right park for you. This is also an excellent time to take your family, your sweetheart, your dog, your solo self on a cabin or yurt retreat. We do rent cabins, yurts, and vacation homes. And I think that's under Rent a Place on our website, which you can see right there. And please create an account on our site and make a reservation. It would be a sad day if you showed up and the park was full. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Also, to park on state lands for the day, you'll need a Discover Pass, and that's for DNR, DFW, and state park lands. And you can get that at discoverpass.wa.gov. It's not up on the screen, but you can also buy it at 80 retailers in Washington State. And also, just to let you know that there is a free lifetime Discover Pass available for veterans with a 30% or more service-related disability. So please check that out if that applies to you. This year has been different in the outdoors. We're seeing crowds all week long. We're saying Tuesday is the new Sunday. So please have a plan B if your park is too crowded for your comfort. We want everyone to stay safe and COVID-free in our parks. We really don't know what's going to happen in September and October with school closures, telework, people, not working 9 to 5. So please keep that in mind, that we may be busier than usual. And on that note, I wanted to address COVID a little bit. It's still going to be a thing. And I wanted to share some tips with you to enjoy state parks as safely as possible, and also to take care of the parks, particularly for those new to the outdoors, and also to take care of yourselves and your fellow citizens. And so I'm going to go over the Recreate Responsibly tips. If you hashtag Recreate Responsibly or go to recreateresponsibly.org, you'll find these 7 tips that Washington State is gathering together to promote. And one is know before you go. Make sure you've done your research, particularly know what's closed and what's open and what may or may not be crowded, and have a plan B. Practice physical distancing, of course, particularly in restrooms and at viewpoints, and mask up. Plan ahead. Gas up before you go. Make sure you know what the impacts would be on some of the small communities that you're visiting. Play it safe. If you've never rock climbed before, this is probably not the time to try a 512. If you've never whitewater rafted, not the time to try a class 5. Just play it below your risk level for your own safety and for that of our search and rescue folks. This is a great time to explore in your own backyard. We have 124 state parks in 38 of Washington's 39 counties, so there's a state park near you. And of course, leave no trace, pack out garbage, etc., and clean up after dogs. And also, last but certainly not least, we're aiming to build an inclusive outdoors to make everyone feel welcome, no matter who you are, where you come from, so that everybody can enjoy our state parks together. And with that, I'd like to introduce the fabulous Washington Trails Association. We're very lucky to have them as an outdoor resource in this state. Thank you.
Hello, folks. My name is Malik Busby. I'm the Field Operations Senior Manager, Washington Trails Association, or WTA for short. WTA serves to mobilize people who love the outdoors, recreate responsibly, explore, steward, and champion hiking on our public lands. We also believe that hiking on trails is good for people's hearts, bodies, and minds, especially during these challenging times. So I came here to sort of share out some resources on our website. Right here, you could see the Go Outside tab. If you go down to the hiking by season, which is the first one we're going to look at, this gives you a bunch of resources to recreate responsibly in the fall. You can see, we got the three trails that tell a Native American story, 5 tips for fall hiking, and then we have signature projects for, we've done volunteer projects on trail, doing trail maintenance for about 20 years. If you go back up to the Get Outside, you can also hover over our hiking guide. And this is a resource that you should use to find those trips that maybe you want to do a short day hike, with your family. Maybe you want to do some trail running. So you can put in your mileage, your altitude. You can do the research to see if there's you need a pass to enter this park, and so on and so forth. Another area, if you go back and hover over the Get Outside, is we love for people after they've recreated outside to do a trip report to tell us their experience, what the weather was like, or if there were a lot of people without dogs on leash, or maybe you saw a hazard in the trail, like a tree that might be down. If you report that to us, our trail maintenance department can look at that and see where we need to go out and do maintenance. And with that being said, you can also click onto our trail maintenance volunteer opportunities if you go to the Get Outside tab again. And then it's on the bottom right. And these are our trail work parties. So this is everything from like a day work party to multi-day trips, backpacking. We've managed to put some COVID-19 protocols in place to make sure people are out there safe, wearing masks, maintaining 6 feet of distance apart, not doing too many technical projects like bridge building and things of that nature, but hopefully we'll get to that level again. So once again, use this as a resource to get out and do your hiking, your walking your dog, getting out with your family, but also please be sure to look into our volunteer opportunities as well if you want to get out and learn how to do trail work and maintain the trails all over Washington State. So with that being said, I would like to welcome Tacoma Metro Parks up. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks very much for inviting Metro Parks to join you today. I'm Nancy Johnson, the Public Information Officer for the Park District. We are an agency that's been around for about 100 years. We're an independent park district, and we're recognized last year by the National Parks and Recreation Association out of 11,000 districts as the gold medal winner. So our park system offers you some pretty amazing amenities that I'd like to talk to you about. We'll start with the Places tab on our website, and it will give you the opportunity to see all of our featured assets within our park system, from a golf course to boating opportunities at the marina at Point Defiance Park, to 2 zoos and the aquarium at Point Defiance Park, and our wildlife park, Northwest Trek, which is out in Eatonville. So all of those amenities will be open this fall, and we have limited hours and practiced adaptive social distancing protocols, so reduced participation levels, so you do want to book in advance if you're going to go to the golf course or if you're visiting one of our zoos or the aquarium. You can do boat rentals at the Point Defiance Marina still through this fall. And yeah, why don't you click in there? That's one of many amenities at our most signature park. Point Defiance is 768 acres, located just right in Tacoma. So if you don't have time to get out to hike in our amazing state parks, I invite you to go for a mini experience at Point Defiance, which sort of replicates that in a way. We have over 500 acres of forest that date back to the time of Shakespeare, and the trails are pretty extensive. Our entire park system has over 87 miles of trails, and so we encourage you that if you go to one of the more popular places like Point Defiance or Ruston Way, to check it out, and if it's too crowded, there are many, many other alternatives of places that you can go and actively recreate and find trails and walking places. Let's go to the Places tab once again, if you wouldn't mind, and we'll have you scroll down to Parks, and I'll show you how you can look up a couple of nearby amenities. So if you wanted to do a keyword search, for example, like we have mountain biking trails. So let's look for mountain biking, and you'll find that that's going to come up with Swan Creek Park. Oh, no locations found. Should have tested that, sorry. Okay, if you navigate down to Swan Creek Park, you'll find our mountain biking trail. Actually, I could have you put Swan Creek also in that. There you go, thank you. You're very intuitive. This is a great fall activity, REI and partners from the Evergreen Mountain Bike Association have helped to build and maintain these trails for us. So they feature some pretty exciting ramps and those kinds of things. Cycling is not allowed on our regular park trails, but this location is specially designed with that, with ramps and places that you can have a really great time. Also located very close by, if we were to search for Wapato, it's just down the street. I don't know if any of you have been there, but if you're not an outdoor adventurist that likes to get out into the wild, there are some very tame walking paths right around Wapato Lake that are a really enjoyable way to spend the fall. And then for fall color, we heard the whole mention about the transition and how beautiful that Washington State is during the fall. Wright Park, which is located in the heart of Tacoma, is an actual arboretum, and you will find a host of our state champion trees are located in that park, as well, and everything's tagged, so you can actually make this an adventure with your children. If you happen to be looking for ways to do some educational engagement that's active and outdoors with them, that's an opportunity where you can find a map for that on our site as well. That takes us to something that we wanted to make families aware of, and that's that we're offering distance learning camps. Metro Parks has been offering this to emergency responders since mid-April. And so we really have our systems down in terms of providing not only socially distanced, but fun and educational experiences for kids. And we know that a lot of families who have challenges with being able to conduct work and education and all of that might be looking for some alternatives. If you click on distance learning camps, you'll find that we and 7 service providers of nonprofits in the community have partnered together, and all of their offerings are located centrally here on our website so that families can find what's in the Tacoma area very easily. So you'll notice that they are provided by different people, so you might be routed out to a different site to register for those camps, but this is one place where you can do a non-stop or one-stop shop to find everything all centrally located. And I'm going to wrap up there because I know I talk long, and I want to introduce our friends at the Forest Service.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Mike Lang. I'm the administrative officer at the Olympic National Forest. We're just down the road in West Olympia. That's our headquarters. It's an honor to be invited and come speak here today briefly about some experiences and opportunities that the U.S. Forest Service can provide. COVID-19 has changed the way we interact, socialize, and recreate. It's forced us indoors, and folks are feeling pretty cooped up. And that over time can be a real drain on morale and welfare, and people are a little anxious about what the future holds. So it's comforting to know that our public lands are out there, your public lands, where you can safely escape some of the isolation that you've been feeling during the pandemic and recharge, stretch your legs, and take in some fresh air, and just view the amazing sights that are out there available for you. Immersing your senses in nature can be some of the best therapy for the soul. The sights, sounds, smells, and feels, and even the taste of the wild outdoors can transport your spirit to a place where, for a while, you can check out from the daily grind and forget about those things that are stressing you. Here in the Pacific Northwest region, or Region 6, which is Oregon and Washington, we have 16 national forests in the Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area. It's a wide diversity of landscape and terrain, everywhere from the Pacific coast with the rainforests to the peaks of the Cascades to the plateaus of the high desert. I guarantee there's a recreation experience out there for you. Developed for fee campgrounds and day use areas are the most visible. Those are the kind of sites that have more amenities, trash cans and information signs, restrooms, fire pits. And if you're looking for maybe a little more rustic adventure, a little more solitude, maybe the diverse or dispersed camping and wilderness is up your alley. There are thousands of miles of trails for hiking. You heard from some of our partners earlier. And in designated areas, mountain biking, off-highway vehicles, and even horseback riding. There are hundreds of crystal clear rivers and streams and lakes, many with waterfalls, great for fishing, swimming, boating, and even gold panning. These places are valued national treasures, and it's my privilege to be involved in caring for them. By adhering to some common sense practices, everyone can count on having quality experiences on our national forests. Safety and conservation is what it's all about. So let's talk about recreation passes. We have the America the Beautiful Recreation Pass. We're gonna pull it up here. There's a special one for military members and their dependents. If we scroll down just a little more, you'll see the military passes. So that's an annual pass. It's typically $80 to the public, but for military members and their dependents, it's free. So because it does require an ID verification, you have to get those in person, can't get those online, at a number of offices of federal agencies. Obviously the U.S. Forest Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the Park Service, Bureau of Land Management, Bureau of Reclamation, and Army Corps of Engineers. So they'll give you access to any federal recreation area. They don't cover camp fees, but any of the day use fees would typically be like a $5 fee. So when you go out to recreate, please do so responsibly and safely. Abide by fire bans. Be especially careful with campfires, and you've heard it before, never leave a campfire unattended. We have some dry weather, we have some east winds that will be coming into the area, and you step away from a campfire for a minute and a spark pops out, and you'd be surprised how quickly a wildfire can take off. Leave no trace. You've heard that earlier. That's an ethos, and it's a code that we live by, and we ask that if you're going out to recreate, that you live by that as well. Simply put, when you're done with your recreation experience, the only thing that should remain are the memories you take with you. Leave no trace means exactly that. So the next person coming in behind you should never know that you were there. So thanks for doing your part. You can fully enjoy the experiences of these wonderful places that we offer. Hyperlinks will be provided with the information about the America the Beautiful passes and other online resources, so you can check out and plan your next recreation adventure. And as mentioned before, it's highly advisable to do some research on the areas that you're planning on going to. Situations on the ground change with wildfires and other closures, so you don't want to be disappointed if you get out there and where you're planning on going is closed. So thank you very much for your time today, and enjoy the experience on your national forest. Next up is the Boy Scouts of America Pacific Harbors Council.
Good morning, and thank you so much for inviting me to be here. My name is Scott Smith. I'm with the Pacific Harbors Council of the Boy Scouts of America, and I'm here to talk to you today and just showcase some of the programs and features we have going on in the area. Whether you're new to scouting or you're new to the area, we have a program that's inclusive for the entire family. Starting right there at the top of our page, you'll see our updates and guidelines for COVID-19. Talking about how we keep our families and our units safe, whether they're doing socially distanced outdoor activities or whether they're doing virtual online activities. As you scroll down our page, and this is our website at pacificharbors.org, you can see the different programs that we offer for all of our families. So scrolling down a little bit, you'll see our Cub Scout program and our Scouts BSA program. These are two of our more known programs. Cub Scout program starts at about kindergarten or 5 years old, and Scouts BSA starts at 11 or upon the completion of 5th grade. And both of these programs are completely inclusive. They're designed for the entire family. That includes boys and girls. In fact, just here on JBLM alone, we have 4 units, 2 packs, and 2 Scouts BSA units. We just started within the last 2 weeks a Scouts BSA troop for girls. That just started within the last 2 weeks. And whether you live on or around JBLM, we have units all throughout the community that it's very easy for you to find by contacting us through the website. If we scroll down a little bit more, you'll find some of our older youth programs that are also co-ed. We have Venturing, which is more of our high adventure outdoor program. Sea Scouts, we have the #1 Sea Scouting program in the nation right here in the South Sound area. In our council, we have 5 Sea Scout ships. That's where youth can go and work towards their maritime skills in the South Sound, 2 of which are right here in the Port of Tacoma, and that'd be the Curtis and the Odyssey. We also have a vibrant and growing exploring program. This is vocationally tracked for our youth, whether they're interested in law enforcement, aviation, medical, law, and government. We have a program for them. Some of our upcoming activities in the fall, if we scroll down a little more, this is our top activities coming up throughout the year, and you'll see it rotates as the days go by. But our big one coming up is our birthday bash. Now, this year is our 90th year that the Cub Scouts have been programming and in operation under the Boy Scouts of America, and so we're celebrating that. With the current pandemic going on, this is going to be a more virtual event, but where all these activities are included inside a box, delivered to your house with videos and tips for the entire family to enjoy and celebrate this birthday experience. Every year we have a banquet that honors our Eagle Scouts and quartermasters throughout the council that have earned the highest award in scouting, and you'll see that coming up as well. And then towards the end of the fall, getting into winter, we have our University of Scouting. This is an opportunity where our youth and our volunteers throughout the organization, regardless of program, can come and get some of that key training. Our youth learn things like leadership skills and how to define and run programs within their units. And our volunteers get needed training on how to keep our youth safe, how to run those inclusive programs, and other opportunities for youth as they move on throughout the programs. If you scroll down a little bit more, you'll find some other key buttons for us. One, you'll see that contact form that goes directly to me. I am the webmaster of the website, so if you have any questions specifically for Scott and you can't get it into that Facebook live chat, you can email me here and I'll respond. And I can answer any of your questions about our program. Once again, whether you're new to scouting or you're just new to the area, we have a program that's for you. If right at the very top on the far left side of the page, you'll see a button that says join. All you have to do is click that, type in your zip code, and you will get all the information for all the units in your specific area. And once again, if you're looking for something very specific and you want some specific program information on how it relates to the youth in your specific family or circumstance, please reach out to me, and I will do my best to work with you and volunteers to find a unit and program that suits your needs. Once again, we do have 4 of those units right here on JBLM, with plenty in the surrounding areas, whether you're in Lakewood or University Place or Spanaway or Puyallup or even as far out as Eatonville. We have a program nearby that we can support you and your family as this goes on. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to your questions, and I will be followed by Madigan Army Medical Center. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. I'm Colonel Chris Warner, the commander of Madigan. Want to start off, we know we have a lot of new families here as PCSs have picked up. For those who are new to the Joint Base Lewis-McChord area, we have a different medical record system than you're probably accustomed to. We use a program called MHS Genesis. This leads to a couple changes that may be different from what you've experienced at other locations for how you interface with your medical team. We'd encourage you, once you get assigned to your medical team through TRICARE, that you go ahead and download and enroll into the patient portal. This will allow you to communicate with your medical team directly, be able to request and see all of your medications, as well as get all of your lab and radiology results right to you without having to come into the hospital. Additionally, we have multiple different ways that you can request appointments. You can do that through your patient portal and emailing the team. You can call our appointments line, or if it's after hours and you have concerns, you can call our nurse advice line at 1-800-TRICARE. As we're entering September here, this is Suicide Prevention Month, so we wanted to take a moment to make sure that you know that all of the resources that are out there. Of course, we don't just focus on suicide in September only, but all year round, as we know that everyone is at risk and are facing many different challenges. And if you or someone you know who is feeling overwhelmed, please offer them help or get them access to help. If you don't know where to reach out to, please call 1-800-273-TALK. That's the 24/7 suicide prevention hotline that's out there. All right, moving on to the next slide. Want to highlight a couple other campaigns that are ongoing here in the month of September. The first is Child Obesity Month. We know, especially with COVID-19, this has created some new challenges as we had a lot of our children that were in their houses for a period of time. We're facing the challenges of virtual schooling. We put out last month at this meeting a draft menu of some things to consider about healthy alternatives. We will continue that, and those will be posted on the Madigan website for folks to be able to reach out and take as you look at how to continue to promote healthy lifestyles for our children to make sure they're active, they're getting good activity, good sleep, and good nutrition. Along those same lines, want to recommend that you also consider the Army Wellness Center. This is a resource to both our military and our military family members on Joint Base Lewis-McChord that can help all of us look at how we can enhance our sleep, activity, and nutrition to continue to foster a good, healthy lifestyle and promote our health moving forward. And then lastly, to highlight the fact that this is also Pain Management Month. We know that there is an opioid epidemic ongoing throughout the United States, that this is a major challenge. We're not prevented from this as well. And it's important that we continue to emphasize and look at what alternatives there are to opioids in pain management processes. We've done a lot of work to educate our healthcare teams at Madigan to make sure that folks know of good alternatives that are out there. And if you are someone who is suffering with pain, please talk with your medical team, use the patient portal, and look at what alternatives are out there. No one should be expecting to live in pain, but we want to make sure we're offering you good, healthy alternatives as ways to cope with that. And then lastly, we know we talked about this last month, and this has come up. There's been a lot of concern about returning to school in terms of school physicals and immunization requirements. I know the school systems in the area have already put out that those forms will not be required for our kids to start school in a virtual environment. But we are expecting at some point they'll begin to move into a hybrid model or back into the classrooms, and these will have to be completed before that time. I mean, you're probably very accustomed to doing some sort of a school physical rodeo or a school physical day. Because of the new environment that we're in with COVID-19, we're not doing those type of events because we don't want to bring a large volume of kids and families into an enclosed environment. What we are doing is we're asking that you reach out to your medical team through the patient portal or through our telephone numbers. If you have been seen, your child has been seen in the last 2 years, we can complete many of those forms without having them come in. We'll do a virtual evaluation if there is a need to see them face-to-face, i.e. they're due for an immunization or there is a physical exam requirement, we'll set that up individually and be able to get those in. We've added in additional appointments both within our family practice clinics and our pediatric clinics to accommodate this. And along these lines, we know there may be additional questions about this or about some concerns about back-to-school health. So we are conducting a pediatric and back-to-school health Facebook Live session today at 4 o'clock this afternoon on details further on the Madigan website. And before I turn it over to MWR, I did have one question that was already given to us from a woman named Amy. She asked that her son had a sore throat and that there was not a strep swab that was done, but rather they immediately had this individual COVID tested and put into quarantine and wanted to know how this will be managed. I think this is a great question and something we're going to be dealing with as we go into the fall, as we start to see more sore throats, as we start to see more flu-like illnesses as well. So thank you for that question, Amy. First and foremost, anytime you feel symptoms of being sick, we want you to make sure you reach out to your medical team. We ask that you don't come into the hospital, but rather call, so use our nurse advice line or call your clinic so they can give you directions. If you do come in, please let them know before you walk into the building, as any of our screeners will ask you about the symptoms so that we can get you directed to the right location. We will send you out if you are symptomatic in terms of fevers, runny nose, sore throat, those type of things. We are going to send those individuals out to the COVID screening tent, but our medical professionals out there are not just evaluating and doing a COVID test. They are assessing if there are other conditions that could be present and if there are indications for additional tests. We do have the ability to do a strep test or a flu test out at the tent as well, and would do both if it is indicated. We will place people in quarantine while we wait for the results and ensure that we are not continuing to run the risk of spreading the illnesses during this point in time, so that would be appropriate. But just to reassure you, Amy, if there is an indication, we are going to screen for all the appropriate conditions, not just for COVID-19. But as we look to what we can expect in the coming months, it'll be more of the situations like this. So thank you for that question. Appreciate all the support for the community, and our commitment back to you is to continue to deliver care with compassion to all our great folks in the Joint Base Lewis-McChord community. And with that, I'll be followed by MWR. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Anderson, and I'm with JBLM Outdoor Recreation. We provide numerous services and activities year-round for our service members, their families, retirees, and veterans. We've got Russell Landing Marina that is still open for the remainder of September, and you can rent out boats, kayaks, and jet skis. And it's right there on American Lake, so you don't have to worry about transporting the equipment or anything like that. Very stress-free. We also have Summers Cove and Shoreline Park to enjoy some time by the water. We just ask that all of our visitors practice safe social distancing. And those are going to be open. So Shoreline Park will be open until the 13th of September, and Summers Cove will be open until the 30th of September. Moving on to kind of our year-round operations, we've got equipment rentals. And I think if you scroll down there should be a little link. If you click on Outdoor Adventures there, and then thought that there was a hyperlink, but I guess I was wrong. Oh wait, no, I think I do see it. Rent equipment, if you click on that. Yeah, there we go. So here you're going to find all of our equipment. This is actually one of our brand new trailers that we rent out over at Adventures Unlimited on the McChord side. But we also have trailers at the Northwest Adventure Center on Lewis North to include boats, and then a lot of smaller items as well, camping tents and sleeping bags as well, anything that you need for your outdoor recreation needs. And you can find, if you click on Northwest Adventure Center or Adventures Unlimited, you can find the pricing and what's available for those as well. The Northwest Adventure Center also has a very large retail store, and we have an end of summer sale coming up the 4th through the 12th, the 12th of September. And it's going to be 20% off of everything store-wide to kind of clear out all of our items in our store so that we can gear up for the winter season. We also have lakeside cabin and RV sites, and that's going to be at the Northwest Adventure Center. And then Holiday Park on the McChord side, they also have RV site rentals there as well on the other side of the airfield. We have POV and RV storage along with the resale lot located on both sides of Post. And then finally the Skeet and Trap range with an off-road vehicle park where you can do your hunter education and registration to hunt on post, along with FFL transfers to transfer in weapons in and out for your own personal use. Our hours have not been manipulated by COVID, so we're open daily for our normal hours of operation, and we hope you come and check us out. Thank you. And we're going to have the libraries coming up next.
Hi, I'm Colette. I'm here with JBLM Libraries. September is National Library Card Sign-Up Month. So we're encouraging all of our service members, their family members, our veterans, and our DoD civilian employees to come on down and get a library card. We have 3 locations. We have Book Patch and Grandstaff, which are here on Main, Lewis, and then we have McChord Library. And all you need is your ID. It just takes a few minutes. And that will give you access to everything in-house, from books to DVDs, audiobooks. We have Rokus, and just a number of cool things. And when you come in to sign in, we do sign you up for an online account, which then gives you access to over 60 online resources. And just to name a couple, we have Mango, which has 60 languages. It's super easy and user-friendly. Both of my teenagers are currently learning different languages, and they're enjoying themselves. We have Overdrive and RB Digital, which give you access to thousands of books and audiobooks, magazines. RB Digital also has the Great Courses, which gives you access to professor-led classes, anything from how to potty train your dog to outdoor photography, some historical classes to be found there. And then we have our Learning Express library, which we have service members coming in frequently to ask about ASVAB study guides and SIFT study guides. We have those available on our Learning Express. And they also have practice tests, which give you feedback immediately to kind of see where the areas of weaknesses are. And I mean, we just have so many online resources available for you, especially when outdoor activities aren't available because it's raining. And we look forward to seeing you. Thank you. And next is Dipper.
Good morning. My name is Malcolm Wolf, and I'm the Risk Prevention Specialist with the Directorate of Personal and Family Readiness. Each September, the Department of Defense observes Suicide Prevention Month by raising awareness about suicide prevention and urging service members and their families to #BeThere for themselves and others. Throughout the month, you'll see ideas on how to participate and raise awareness. For example, join the SHARP program on their virtual awareness run and identify that you are running for suicide awareness or other causes. In addition, you can join the Directorate of Personal and Family Readiness as we wear yellow on September 10th, Worldwide Suicide Prevention Day. Together, we can connect to protect and be there for service members and their families. Thank you, and I'll be followed by Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program.
Good morning, Joint Base Lewis-McChord. I'm Frank Hando. I'm a transition service specialist that works over at Hot Career Center, and I'm excited today to announce that the annual Career Summit is finally up and available. So we partner every year with Hiring Our Heroes. This year's Career Summit will be September 23rd and 24th. This is a 2-day event that is mandatory for all service members within 12 months of separation and highly recommended for anybody that's within 18 months of separation. Day 1 will be held at Cary Theater and will consist of a bunch of classes, learning about LinkedIn, helping with your resume. We're bringing in a bunch of guest speakers to talk to you about the transition program. And then Day 2 will be over at Hangar 9 on McChord Field. We're going to bring in between 75 to 100 employers that have available jobs for transitioning service members. And we're also going to do a virtual event that's going to have another 25 employers that will be there virtually with us. Keep tabs on JBLM Unlimited on Facebook and the JBLM SFL TAP LinkedIn accounts. That's where we'll be providing updates. I thank you for your time today, and I will be followed by the commissary.
Good morning, everyone. For this month, we're going to be talking about eating healthy and well. And our theme for this month will be zucchini boats. As you can see, it'll give you the instructions on how to prepare this delicious product, and it can be made within an hour. For any other topics that you have, please visit us on the commissarywebsite.com. And you can go to JBLM Lewis or McChord Commissary and see any updates that we have. Thank you so much. And I'm followed by the Spouses Club.
Good morning. My name is Rachel Montague, and I am a representative from the Spouses Club Lewis-McChord. We most recently had our membership drive this past weekend, and we welcomed 42 brand new members. We have room for so many more. Spouses of our club represent all ranks. They represent active duty, reserve, servicemen and women. So please come on out. You can easily join us if you look at our website. In the top right-hand corner, it says Join SCLM Today. So please click on the link. Think about joining. We have so many things to offer you. Just to take a peek, if you look at the What We Do tab, that gives us a great little spectrum. If we scroll all the way down to subclubs, this is an awesome way for you to connect with other people, to give you adult interaction, a welcome reprieve from the stresses of virtually schooling our kids. If you're new here, if you've just PCS'd, or if you're still looking for your group, there are spouses that have a morning book club, an evening book club, bunco, coffee club, cooking club, the ever popular wine club. There is something for everyone, and if you don't see something, you can always start it. Now, a great way to be able to connect with others that we do is the member mixers. And unfortunately, COVID has kind of made it difficult, so we had to get creative. And on September 17th at 7:30, you can find the details under What We Do up at the top with member mixers. You can also find this on our Facebook. But we have a memory explosion box. Our theme is called Boxed In. And what we have is you'll get a kit, and you'll also get all the glue you need. So everything that you need, we'll stream the tutorial. If you're like, I need this box, but I can't show up, you have that option as well. So basically what you have is a JBLM specific memory box that opens up into an explosion box that allows you to put 12 different photos of different sizes. It is a great way to commemorate your time here at this fantastic duty station. It's also a great way to kind of highlight your spouse's tenure here too if you put things like this in their office. But we welcome you. Please check out our Facebook and our website. We would love to have you. There's positions on the board available for those of you that want to do a little bit more than just volunteer as a member. And we hope that you'll check us out. Thank you for your time this morning.
Right. Thank you, Robin. We have a few questions from the virtual crowd. Thank you for submitting them. First, the hunters are the only paying customers who use the training areas for morale, welfare, or recreation purposes. Other recreators should have to start paying to use the training areas as well. Okay, yeah, thanks for the comment. I appreciate why you're asking. Is that right now that is true that hunters have to pay after they get their Washington State hunting license to be able to recreate on the training areas. Right now, that's because we do we specifically set aside the ranges that are not being used for military training and military readiness. So that's a system that we run that sets aside for hunters. We are looking at expanding the capacity for recreation and tracking of recreation on base. So more to follow on this system. We're looking at using an enterprise system online that would help us track and coordinate people that are using our lands for recreation. We do want to keep them open for those purposes. So more to follow on that. I appreciate the comment. Is there a time for gymnastics on JBLM again? Unfortunately, no. We used this facility that we were teaching gymnastics in to expand childcare for school-aged care for the SAC. So we do not have plan for gymnastics right now. I apologize, but that was a purposeful move to open up additional spaces for those kids that are doing virtual schools right now. That's one of the locations they're doing it in that we expanded. Question from Sarah: any update on LeMay bulk pickup? We just talked to LeMay again. And I apologize, there's still no set date. That they specifically told us that they are not setting a date themselves because of Washington state government, their own COVID restrictions, their own health protection measures. There is not a set date, but believe me, we are continuing to ask as often as we can, and we're kind of being pests to LeMay ourselves to continue that service. That is the one trash and refuse and recycling collector for this area. The way Washington State does it is they have specific companies per area. Ours is LeMay, so that's the company we'll continue to work with, and we'll continue to ask them to get this started up as soon as we can. And last question, can we please go back to the community update format from before? I think what you're probably referring to is the Garrison community update that we had in the Nelson Rec and in the McChord Club alternating. We do hope to get back, as I mentioned in my opening comments actually, we do hope to get back to an in-person very soon. We're doing pretty well on COVID right now. Definitely as a base and definitely in Western Washington, we are absolutely improving. I hope I can say that, right, docs? I think I'm okay saying that. So we hope to get back in person. We are planning on using this format, though. I love the information. Thank you again to our partners who, I'm looking over here just off camera, all of our partners that helped brief today. Amazing information about things to do in the Pacific Northwest getting ready for the fall. But I appreciate the comment. We'll continue to look at ways to also include other people that used to brief in that type of format. And we hope to see all the commanders and families and civilians and spouses and all the people that come to that activity in person. All right, thank you very much again for joining us for this Sound Summit, and I will turn it back over to Robin. Thanks again.
Oh, we have one more question, so we're going to have Madigan come back up and field their question.
This question came from Amy, and it had to deal with our wait times at the Madigan pharmacy, and just wanted to make sure we've got some clarification out there. First and foremost, again, I want to apologize to the community. I know, especially in the month of August, due to some staffing issues we had because of COVID quarantine for some of our own, we had some very long wait times, and we do apologize for that. And we appreciate your perseverance and patience with us during that time. We are back to more of our normal operations. However, we recognize, and we've communicated this through a number of forums, that this experience can be better, should be better, and you deserve better. And we've got a group working to put a number of different processes in place to get these wait times down. My goal is to have them back down under 30 minutes, and I know we're not there yet. And so, Amy, we hear you. I just want you to know what's going on immediately. First of all, we went and looked at how the refill requests were coming in. We found that there were some problems that were actually creating some bulge days where we would actually be filling 3 days worth of prescriptions on especially Wednesdays and Thursdays that made those days worse. We've put some systems in place that have fixed that. Why we think specifically today is a little bit more than we've seen in the past 2 weeks is we know it's a holiday weekend coming up, and we always see a little bit of some increased demand at that time. And one of the questions I think Amy sent us in follow-up did say, what about opening up other pharmacies? I want to make clear we do have multiple pharmacies open. So for our active duty personnel, all of your prescription needs should be getting filled at your Soldier Center Medical Home. For the rest of our beneficiaries, if you're enrolled to the Puyallup or South Sound clinics, those clinics now should not only be filling new prescriptions, but should be taking care of refills in the out days, as we just restarted the refill process there this week. For those who are enrolled to McChord, you should be going to that pharmacy. For those who are still coming to Madigan, we are doing the refills and the pickups through the drive-through pharmacy at this point in time. However, we have a number of additional items that we'll be putting in place here over the coming weeks, including a texting service to help decrease some of the wait. And then, of course, in the long range here, we're looking at some additional capabilities that we can put around the installation where you don't even need to come to the pharmacy to pick up your meds, as well as looking forward to opening our new pharmacy as the PX reopens here near the end of the year or the beginning of next. So Amy, I apologize. I know it's not what you would expect. We are getting better, and we're continuing to work at it, and we appreciate your feedback. Thank you, and have a great day.
All right, that wraps us up for today. As a reminder, the questions and answers will be posted within 48 hours, and I would urge you to download the navigation sheet so that you can access these resources in the coming month. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.